Hello and welcome to Our World Today. I'm Brandon.
I'm Jackie.
Hey, I'm Gabby.
I'm Leonardo.
Hi everyone, it's Caitlin.
And today on the show we're going to talk about social media, especially social media screening on potential job candidates. We will explore what social media screening is, how we feel about it, what employers have to say, how everyday people feel about the topic, and how social media screening affects major companies in the country. So what is social media screening? How does it affect hiring decisions? And should all employers screen candidates before hiring?
There's no question that social media is changing the way business works. Did you know that about 77% of companies are using social networking sites to recruit candidates for specific jobs, according to a 2013 survey by the Society for Human Resource Management? By using social media screening before hiring a potential candidate, employers can minimize the legal risks and maximize the business benefits of social media when social media screening is part of the reference or background check that is made before extending an offer.
Thank you, Jackie, for stating our position. Next, we'll hear from Leo, who will share research about social media in the workforce.
According to Andrew Hanselson and Ashley Terhorst from the Department of Educational Leadership Research and Technology at Western Michigan University, because social media sites have been growing more and more popular, employers are taking advantage of using these sites in their hiring process. Companies and organizations looking to hire applicants have seen an increased value in utilizing social media to check the backgrounds of individuals. A 2008 survey of the United States Human Resource Department found 84% of employers utilize online search engines to find applicants, an increase from 77% back in 2006. According to the 2013 Career Builder survey conducted online within the United States and Canada, which polled 5,518 job seekers and 2,775 hiring managers, 44% of the hiring managers stated that they will research the job applicants on Facebook. 27% will monitor the candidates on Twitter accounts.
So Leo, what is your opinion on this study conducted? How do you feel about screening social media accounts?
Well, I think a positive aspect of using social media in the hiring practice is the additional information and skills that can be demonstrated by a candidate that simply cannot be replicated using paper and pen. Candidates have been offered jobs due to their social networking profiles, reflecting well-rounded displays of awards, and just looking like the correct fit. Individuals can post their past projects and examples of work to highlight qualities, showing how they can fulfill a void in a company or organizational structure. Some candidates have even taken to including the social network and personal sites in their cover letters and resume to entice employers to look online content for employers. This includes the ability to recognize conflicts between employees in application and online profiles. In addition, the online content connects employees through projects and personality similarities, and it also helps create employees-based application using the latest technological research of employee behavior. Social network sites are also serving as inexpensive and quick source of background information on job applicants and current employees for employers, and will continue to do so into the future. Because this process is extremely convenient and fast, it is not surprising that so many companies are turning to social networking sites.
Thanks, Leo. That was very interesting. Next, we're going to hear from Gabby, who interviewed someone on the subject.
So I interviewed Sam, a business agent organizer over at the UA Local Union 412, and gained some insight on the topic of social media screening. I first asked him, in what ways do you think social media screening would be beneficial?
Gabby, that's a good question. Let me think about it for a moment. Well, I believe that social media screening would certainly give an employer an accurate and true reflection of the potential applicant. I believe that in most interviews, the employer only has a small insight of the applicant from the resume that they provide and the personal interview notes that we take. So I believe that benefits such as interactions with others, family, friends, all interests, behavior and the past history can certainly benefit the employer.
She then asked him,
Do you think employers have the right to screen potential employees' social media accounts?
Wow, another good question. Absolutely. Aside from any legal law that would discriminate against the candidate, I believe social media is a platform that is open to the public globally for anyone who wishes to participate. So as an employer, I would explore all options to better understand the candidate, especially if they are final cut for one of the applicants for the position by screening social media. Absolutely.
her final question was,
How do you think screening social media accounts will affect the hiring process positively for both the employer and the employee?
Wow. That certainly is a subjective question that can have so many implications. But I suspect that by screening social media accounts for the purpose of hiring, a few things will happen. Off the top of my head, one, the employer will be able to narrow down the applicants much quicker as opposed to the old standard process. Secondly, I believe that the employee will be able to be on the job much sooner than they typically would be. Thirdly, the employer may not be hired solely for the purpose of the job, which is both good and bad. I also believe that, I personally believe it certainly gives advantages for both the employer and the applicant. Other than that, I don't have much more to offer.
There is definitely a balance of how far an employer should go when screening a potential candidate's profile. Like Sam was saying, the employer has to be careful not to violate any civil rights acts and to only judge the social media accounts on non-discriminatory factors. Following this, we have Caitlin sharing some recent national news on the topic.
Hi everyone, it's Caitlin, and I don't know if you've been following the news, but recently there's been a major marine scandal in the headlines. So if you haven't been following it, there's been a group on Facebook with over 30,000 members of both active duty and retired servicemen. In this group, they've been posting naked photos of their coworkers, personal details about the coworkers such as unit number, state of service, state of residence, and full names. In this group, they've also discussed negative comments about women in the military and how they think they don't belong. The women have actually found out and come out and made allegations. It's been ongoing since 2013 when first allegations were made, and they're finally making some leeway on this. The United States Marine Corps has said they will now not allow nude photos to be posted of coworkers without their consent, and they've also stated they're going to make some action against the service members involved. The trouble comes in because the active duty, they can face court-martials, pay cuts, and loss of rank, but with the veterans involved, you can't really offer these things, so they're looking for alternative means to hold them accountable. But there are 30,000 members, so they're having trouble prosecuting this. But further social media policies are coming into play. I guess the thing about this that's interesting is these service members didn't think they would be held accountable for what they said online. They thought it wasn't in work time and it wasn't a big deal. But the United States Marine Corps has seen that what their members, like what their Marines are saying, reflects back onto them. So if these men are non-inclusive about women, then it makes the United States Marine Corps seem like they don't want women involved. So they're now seeing how social media can come back and what their members can say affects them in their business.
Lastly, we will hear statistics about social media and recruiting.
Alright guys, so when recruiters look at social media and they see references to using illegal drugs, what percentage do you think of recruiters disapprove of such pictures and posts? Any ideas?
Maybe around 80% or 90%. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't want a drug user in their office.
I agree with you, yeah. I think 90% would be
Any last guesses? Okay, the answer is 78%. All right, guys. Now, what percentage of recruiters do you guys think react negatively on posts when a potential candidate posts something too sexy or their status is very sexual? What percentage do you think of recruiters disapprove or completely act negatively towards those?
I will have to say most of them would.
I wonder if it determines if it's a male or female recruiter as well.
Good question.
Or
Good
age
point.
too, older versus younger recruiters, but I would still
Yeah.
think like maybe 70%.
I would think a little lower, like 40 to 50%. I don't know. I feel like it could be lower.
Well, it looks like Caitlin's going to be the winner today. The answer is 67%.
Thank you for listening in today, and we hope you'll join us next time on Our World Today.